Dan, promotion to Step 4 confirmed. First and foremost, what does that mean to you and the team?
No, I think it's thoroughly deserved. I think it's when I signed, that was the goal in the 19-20 season, and I think we were all but there. I think even last year started maybe off a bit slow, but we were still there or thereabouts. And I think it's reward for the hard work and the quality of the lads. To be fair, I think the team's good enough to be at that higher level, and I think everyone's looking forward to playing there now.
So the FA's decision to put the two seasons together, do you feel that's a fair one?
Yeah, I think in hindsight, knowing what's happened obviously last year, they'd have probably just used the 19-20 season, and it was pretty much about 75% of the way through. I think that would have been the sensible thing to do. But even I think they've kind of accepted that they maybe made a bad decision by null and voiding it and then including it with last season. I think is the right thing to do, and I think the right results happened. I think the three teams that have gone up, ourselves, Hebburn and Shildon, I think you'd be struggling to probably argue with that.
Looking at the disappointment that we had in the 19-20 season, obviously you've not actually played a full season here yet.
No.
I think it's 42 games across the two leagues that we've played, and we come out on top on points per game.
Yep.
Rightly so, you'd imagine.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I say, the 19-20 season, I think we were probably the best team in the league. I think both going forward and defensively, we were right there. Last season we probably started off a little bit slow, but then we started to get there. We started to, just before the second lockdown, we started to show signs that it was back towards the 19-20 season. Like I say, we were second with maybe 6 points behind, but having to play twice, so you've got to back yourself in them games and stuff. So we were still right there.
So between the two seasons, there's over a full season of games actually played. Is it still a little bit of disappointment that you're not going to be going up as champions?
I think so. I think just the group of lads that we've got, it's a good group of lads. It'd have been a nice end of season celebrations. But at the end of the day, the goal was to get promoted, was to challenge ourselves at a high level, and then hopefully, obviously that's what we've got, and I think everyone's looking forward to next year. It's usually at the end of the season, you're usually looking forward to that bit of downtime. You're thinking, I could do with a couple of months to recharge your batteries, but now I think we've been training for about a month, but everyone's chomping at the bit to get back and that, so it's a strange one.
And obviously the squad itself, half's actually had experience higher up. Half, it's going to be a brand new experience for them. How important was it to keep this group of lads together, as you've just explained how close the lads are?
Yeah, so I think it's the best dressing room I've been involved in terms of like the teams, the lads in the team and that. So I think that is important, and it will be important next year, because there'll be times next year where it will be hard. You're going to be playing against better teams, and you might not be used to going on winning 5-6 games on the trot. So it'll be important to have lads who have played at that level, who know a bit more about it. But even if you look at the lads who haven't played at the level, a lot of them will be more than capable. They've got the attributes, they've got the ability to, and so hopefully we should have a good season.
You mentioned when you first joined, obviously the aim that was put across to you was progression. You've certainly had that now, obviously going up to Step 4, but it's what the likes of Shane and a lot of others joined for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To have that progression and to take this club higher up.
That's it. Like what I say, when I first joined, I didn't realise how far Stockton had progressed from when I was here. I was here when I was 16, and it was just chalk and cheese. I couldn't believe how well run the club it was, how good the facilities were and everything, and it's just screaming out to be at a higher level. We've got the momentum behind us now, so hopefully we can keep that going. And when you're talking to people around the club, the ambitions, it's not just to settle either. The drive's there to do better and better again, which is, again, it's what you want as a player. When you're looking to join, you want a bit of ambition. You don't just want to be like happy to remain in the Northern League. Like, that was one of the big things.
Obviously you mentioned hometown. A lot of the lads here, this is their hometown club, so it's going to be a very, very proud moment to step out on that field August 7th or August the 14th and represent Stockton as a town in a higher league.
Well, yeah, that's it as well. I think some of the lads have even been here from when they were in like the Weir side and the Teesside League, so for them it's been a fantastic journey. The other big thing is, towards the back end, before all the lockdown restrictions, we were getting really good crowds. We're talking 600, 700, 800, which, if we can keep that going, or even get higher than that, you're talking, it's frightening really for Step 4 or even higher. Like it's incredible support for the lads out there. it just makes the experience all that much better as well.
We finish off on the fans. Obviously, it's been 14 months or so since we last had a game where obviously the attendances wasn't restricted. Firstly, how much have you missed them, and how much are you hoping they get back behind us?
Oh, massively, like you say. It was a noticeable difference, a very noticeable difference between having no fans and the 300 that were there, and that's, you forget, like you say, 14 months, you forget what it was like when it was packed here and you had 800-900 on Boxing Days and stuff, and like the idea of being able to get that back for a play, you just look forward to it. You love playing in front of when there's a decent crowd here, especially the Stockton fans as well. They get behind you, and they create a great atmosphere. So I think our home record proves that as well. I think what do we get beat maybe once at home or twice at home throughout them 42 games and stuff. So I think you can see it does make a difference, and the lads rise to it as well. So the sooner the fans can get back, the better. I think everyone wants that as well. It's what makes the club the club.